Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. So I know everything has been pretty dark and basically apocalyptic in the news. So I wanted to just take this video to just lighten spirits, offer a little distraction. So basically I'm going to be covering today some of the most ridiculous and funny things that I have done. But before we get into that, just have to address the elephant in the room. This coronavirus, oh my gosh. I'm so torn. Part of me feels like this is an enormous deal. I need to panic. I'm about to die. The other part of me is looking at the stats of the swine flu and also hearing all those reading those articles that are basically saying the media is blowing this up and it's super out of proportion. So I don't want to feel like I'm overreacting, but I also don't want to like just ignore this because it clearly is a big deal. I mean, cities, countries, entire giant industries, everything is shutting down. And then I went to the grocery store. First off, the water and toilet paper, we need to calm it down. But that was the obvious. What I didn't expect is apparently everyone is hoarding butter. And then also, I don't know about your guys' stores, but we are out of chocolate chips and toothpaste, okay? So what, we are stress eating, but we're also concerned about cavities at the same time. Okay, so into my stories. This story is from 8th grade. So it was when everyone was applying for high school. So I don't know how things work for your guys' school, but in order to be in the GATE program in high school, you had to like submit an application, your grades, I think you would letters of recommendation, and then you had to go in and write like a test prompt, almost like SATs and stuff, right? There were 2 high schools in my area. One that was called McClatchy, and that was technically my home school. And then there was another one called Kennedy, which I had to open enroll to go to because it was not in my area. However, that's where all my friends were going. So my sister went to McClatchy. So my mom was like, okay, well, this is one that's close to our house. Your sister already goes here. You will just go there. It makes sense. And I was like, no, Mom. So decided, okay, well, for colleges, one of the most important things for us is we want you to be in the GATE program. If you give it your all, you get into both, then we can discuss choosing. So I had to apply for both. So for homeschool, essay day comes. So I don't remember all of the essay questions, but I remember one of them. It was, what is the world's worst invention and why? So what do you think people would put? They were like, war, bombs, homelessness, hatred, drugs, all very, very logical, reasonable things. I don't know that they're all inventions necessarily, but I see where they were going with this. So, what does little old me write about? Oh, golly gee willikers, glad you asked. So, I wrote about the world's worst invention being man thongs. Yes, man thongs and Speedos. That's what I wrote my essay on. So let me just tell you where I was coming from, okay? Where I was coming from. So basically, summer before, this gal that was one of my absolute best friends was from Brazil, right? And my parents let me go to Brazil with her. So we were on the beach one day and basically I had gotten pulled kind of under a wave, still by the shore. I wasn't like deep out or anything, but I kind of like somehow fell and then got stuck under there, and then I was like panicking and just like, ah! And I was basically going to drown myself. And this guy came and saw me and just like pulled me up and like laid me on the sand. Keep in mind it's only like maybe 2 yards away, but I was panicking and he saw that. So he like brought me up and he's like standing over me and just like speaking in Portuguese obviously, but I'm assuming asking, you know, are you okay? Are you all right? Is anyone here with you? All assumption, but he sounded concerned and was talking to me, so probably something like that. And I like look up and it's like all like bright and stuff, and all I see is just like Speedo. Just Speedo, you know? And it was traumatizing. It was probably more traumatizing than getting tossed under the waves. So yeah, I mean, obviously very happy he saved me, but it was, ooh, not the image you want, you know? And it stuck with me, No, obviously it stuck with me, because when it came time to write this essay, like a year later, a first thing that came to mind when I was thinking, what is the world's worst invention? Boom. This guy's crotch. First thing that comes to mind. So I was like, I remember reading that and just first thing, man thong. Man thong. Yes. Yes, that's it. Not a second thought. I did not think, you know, drugs, war, bombs. No. No, didn't even cross my mind. I didn't even consider anything else because I was so confident. I was so confident in that answer. And I wrote my entire essay, which I'm pretty sure was like 2 or 3 pages or something, just on why man thongs are the world's worst invention and should be illegal. So yeah. So then we finished the essays, you know, we were ready to go home. My mom picks me up and just, you know, how'd it go? Do you feel like you did well? And I was just like, you know what? I'm feeling pretty confident about it. I actually think I did pretty good. And so my mom's just like, yes, that's my girl, right? We probably went out to dinner, celebrated, something like that. So then my mom sees these other people who were the, I don't know, moms, teachers, volunteers, whoever it is that we run the whole application process for the GATE program and do all of the essay readings and grading them, things like that. Talk of the town was the person who wrote about man thongs. And keep in mind the essays have no names, so they don't know who wrote this. So completely anonymous at this point. And so they start talking about like the man thongs and like how traumatizing it is and like how hilarious it was. This person that, it was so sincere, but I guess it was so well written, and I guess my points were so well received, I guess you would say. I guess it was just really memorable, and I think only like 1 or 2 people read it. I guess over like half a dozen people read it because they were like, wait, what? I have to read this essay. And so they were talking about it to my mom, and my mom was just, my mom told me she turned like bright red and like had to like excuse herself and just like knew it was mine. Because I mean, who else was this ridiculous and unnecessary, right? So she just knew it was me, and then she confronted me about it like that day or the next day. And I mean, I didn't know what to say because I thought, you know, they were, well, first off, I thought it was a really good idea. But also, I didn't realize we were gonna talk about it, and then my mom was gonna find out, and then, you know, looking back, it was kind of embarrassing and like, oh, well, maybe I should have wrote about something else. My mom's like, you know what everyone else wrote about? Homelessness, war, drugs, bombs, things that are actually a big deal. Oh, she was pretty upset. I think she was mostly upset because she was just like so embarrassed. So embarrassed. I felt really bad, you know, over the course of my life. I really embarrassed her many times. Many times. Oh, this is one of my favorites though, you know. Moral of the story though, from everyone who read it, everyone voted that I was creative, unique, well written, and I got in. My parents were so embarrassed that when I ended up getting into both of them, they were like, you know what, we're not even gonna fight you on this. You go to the other school because I can't face this. This is just, it's too embarrassing. I can't face this. And that is the story of how I got into 2 GATE programs and got to go to the one that I actually wanted to, because I basically sabotaged that one on accident. Whoops. Alright guys, so that is all I have for you today. I hope that this has added a little comic relief to your life, and now we can all go out and continue our daily panics, hopefully in quarantine, unless you are unfortunate like me and are still having to go to work, even though everything's being shut down. Hopefully that's not you. But if you are, my heart goes out to you because it sucks, it's pretty scary, and I would rather be home making funny videos. So, Thank you again so much for watching. I will see you next week. And don't forget, if you haven't already, do hit that subscribe button. I will see you next week.